Hello YouTube, thank you for joining me again. Today I have some For Honor beta footage for you from the closed beta that ended yesterday, January 29th. It was available from the 26th to the 29th if you got a beta key from Ubisoft. I personally didn't get my beta key until the day of. The release of For Honor, which was the 26th at like noon. I'm surprised I even got in at all. In the background, we have some gameplay footage for you. I'm playing the Orochi. Though during the time, I played a lot of Nobushi, personally. And I chose the Knight faction, but after playing the Nobushi, I really enjoyed the playstyle. The gameplay, the poking, the distancing, the harassment. I was able to control the environment is what I really liked about it. It was my preferred playstyle, and I do like how the game allows you to play any character despite the faction you choose, which is a huge plus. There are 3 factions total in this game: the Knights, the Samurai, and the Vikings. The Knights are defending their homeland, the Samurai are trying to live, I believe, and the Vikings are storming our territory. I'm a knight, personally, so. The knights consist of their basic warrior, which is the wardens, knight in armor, sword, two-handed sword. They also have the conquerors, which are the tank class of the knight faction. They have a flail and a shield, big bruiser, tough guy, slower attacks. They also have the peacekeeper, which is their main assassin, who is quick, agile, inflicts bleeding damage, which I'm going to talk about a little later. There's also the samurai. The samurai consist of the kenshi, which are their basic warriors. They have a long katana, average fighter. The orochi, which are their assassins, and this is the gameplay footage I'm showing you right now. Fast attack speed, slower or lower health, high damage. And the Nobushi, which was a long-range poker character, that's what I preferred to play, was able to maintain distance and chip away at the opponent's health. And there was also the Vikings faction. This consisted of the Raiders, which were their big, beefy warrior guys, two-handed axe. The warlords, which were their tanks, which had a sword and shield, highly played in 1v1 combat because their shield and counterattack combo, in which if they were able to, if they were able to guard break you, you couldn't get out of their damage, so it was free hits. And then there was also the Berserker, which was their assassin class, which had 2 axes and were high in-your-face characters. When it comes to blocking, the assassin class is unable to hold a block direction because after a short amount of time it will automatically knock them out of the stance, which is hard to come in and out of. Playing an assassin and then going out of playing like a warden or a warlord and then coming back and just trying to hold your block is really annoying. I found myself multiple times not getting blocks off because of that. Overall, the gameplay, it's really smooth. I like it. I'm getting this remnants of Lord of the Rings Conquest is a game that kind of brought it to mind. Not the fighting style, but the overall dynamic of it brought me back to that game. I played it on Xbox. Most of the characters are actually, I would even say all of the characters are. The game is really well balanced. I will say that. There are a couple issues I have, like the revenge mode, in which allows you to take on multiple. Taking damage increases your revenge meter, which once it gets to a certain point, you can unleash it, and it gives you health, gives you defense, and gives you attack. And it's really, really strong. I see that it's supposed to be this counter against 2v1s or 3v1s, but I found myself and other people being able to not only when fighting a 2v1 use it and maintain alive, maybe kill one of them and go into 2v2 or 1v1 again, but kill both of them in the time that revenge lasted. Whether it was just because their revenge lasted so long because of buffs or whatever, or they didn't have knockback on their attacks, or hit on getting hit, so they could just hard attack, and unless you blocked them, you were getting destroyed because of the increased damage. I found myself a berserker 3-shotted me from full health. Pretty insane. I feel like that could be toned down just a little bit. I understand what's supposed to be it's supposed to be your edge over multiple people, but when most of the time I'm watching people win like 1v2s just because of revenge, not because of skill, is pretty silly. I played on PC. I got my beta key for PS4, but I had to get it switched because I requested PC, and yeah. It gave watching a lot of other streamers and YouTubers, I'm actually pretty sure all of them that I saw played using a controller, which I feel would have been so much better for this game than what I did using a mouse and keyboard. Not that the controls are bad, but I feel like an analog stick would do so much more than a mouse in this case, because the blocking required you to move your mouse in a particular way. I feel if I had a mouse pad and I had a steady place to hold my mouse at the beginning, I would be able to do it better. I don't. I just have a flat desk. So I found my mouse could be on the top of the map or like the top of my desk, and my mouse would be in the middle. And then I would have to go up even farther to get it. I'd have to literally pick up my mouse and put it back down to be able to block, to move it back and forth. Which I feel like an analog stick would be so much better, just because it automatically resets back to the middle. That being said, even for PC, the controls aren't bad, they're good. I would recommend playing with a controller, even if you did PC. It being beta, there are some bugs and issues that go on with the game. Definitely the biggest issue that I found personally was a lot of the matchmaking just not being able to get into games, or them freezing, or not freezing, but just not loading in. And these are bugs that, typically happen in a beta. I'm not expecting them not to, but I don't know. I kind of found them to be a lot more common than I believe they should have been. And with that being said, I'm sure this is going to get fixed before it releases. It needs to. But I'm talking like every other game, I had to probably close out of the entire game and get back in because I was frozen in a game lobby, or someone disconnected and it never resynced. The game's good. I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to personally buy it. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I feel like I might buy it for my PS4 though, just because of that controller aspect. I can always get one for my PC, but I don't know. Might just be easier just buying it for the PS4. I do plan on streaming this again, as well as some more videos. I highly enjoyed the game. I'm an avid Dark Souls player, and this game does actually a lot remind me of a kind of play style of Dark Souls. There is one issue that I forgot to touch upon, and it's more of a community issue that people have. In specific, the bleeds from characters like the Nobushi, in which I'm versing right now, and mainly the Peacekeepers with the triple stab, doing excessive damage. And I mean, as an Ibushi main, I was kind of on the giving end of this. I I see where people are coming from. It did do a good amount of damage, but at the same time, the ability or the attacks that hit that didn't cause bleed, and or if the target wasn't bleeding, were significantly worse than they should have been in consideration of the other classes. So it's kind of a trade-off, and honestly, without knowing the numbers exactly, it'd be really hard to tell. Oh, that poor guy. It's really hard to tell. Like, I mean, it could be balanced with, like, the amount of damage it should be doing, but not knowing without the numbers. Though, all things considered, it's a really good game. I highly recommend it. Ubisoft outdid themselves with this. A few minor fixes, and this game would be really good. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much.